Ryan Rosenblatt for SB Nation Soccer, and this Friday the United States takes on Costa Rica in a gigantic World Cup qualifier as both teams continue their quest to qualify for the 2014 World Cup in Brazil. Now this match is especially big for the US, who lost their opening match of qualifying in Honduras. That leaves them on 0 points, and their next match after Costa Rica is at Mexico, a match they are very likely to lose and probably won't even get a draw out of. That means they are staring at 0 points from their first match, very likely 0 points from the third match. If they don't get a win over Costa Rica on Friday, they're going to head into June with 3 of their 10 World Cup qualifiers in the books on just 0 or 1 point. Now, that's not a death sentence in their hopes for qualifying for the World Cup, but it would leave them with a very, very steep uphill climb, which means no excuses for the US. They need 3 points this Friday against Costa Rica. Now, not helping them is a rash of injuries to this team that has left Jurgen Klinsmann without many of his best players. Landon Donovan, not injured, is still on his sabbatical, but Tim Howard is out injured. So is Edgar Castillo, Fabian Johnson, Steve Cherundolo, Timothy Chandler, and Jonathan Spector. That's a big chunk of the team unavailable to Klinsmann. Most of them are in defense, most are at the fullback positions, which, luckily for the US, is not as big of a deal. Because of Klinsmann's system, which preaches possession, which preaches a compact team at the back, they've been able to slide in a bunch of defenders and not really have a drop-off at the back. In the third round of World Cup qualifying, they started 7 different players in defense. 8 players played. That included Michael Parkhurst, who played both right back and left back. That included Jose Francisco Torres, who's a midfielder, and they put it left back. Even Oguchi Onyewu came off the bench and made an appearance, and he's been in terrible form for the US and his club for more than a year now. And throughout all of that, it was pretty consistent for the US. They gave up 1 goal. They gave up 1 goal in 4 out of their 6 third-round matches. The only difference was against Jamaica when they gave up 2 in Jamaica and then held a clean sheet at home. The simple thing is, they give up 1 goal, and that's probably what they're going to give up against Costa Rica, even with guys like Justin Morrow or Tony Beltran in there at fullback positions, even if they move to Marcus Beasley or Maurice Edu from midfield to defense. 1 goal is probably what the US is going to give up. That is what they always give up. That has been their thing, no matter who's in defense. The question is, can they score 2? If they happen to give up 2, can they score 3? The focus has to be on this attack, which has done a very good job keeping the ball and helping protect that defense, but has not done a great job turning possession into chances into goals. Josie Altidore has been in phenomenal form for AZ, but that's been true for more than a year now, and he's still yet to show that kind of form for the national team. Clint Dempsey is coming off a bit of an injury. Can he be 90 minutes fit? Can he make a great contribution to this team? Eddie Johnson, who had a nice finish to 2012 with the US, can he play well? Because he hasn't been off to a great start for the Sounders early in the MLS season. Graham Zusi, can he make an impact? Can Michael Bradley be really the best player on the pitch? Because that's what the US needs out of him. Those are the questions for the US. Can they get 2 goals? Can they get the goals necessary to overcome the goal that they're going to give up defensively? That's the real focus for the US. And luckily for them, Costa Rica doesn't have a ton at the back. And the fact that the Costa Rican manager has shuffled his defense time and time again, not allowing them to get any continuity at the back, has only made them worse. This is a Costa Rican defense that can be had. Panama, who doesn't score a ton of goals, got 2 against them in the opener in that 2-2 draw. This is a defense that the US should be able to put up multiple goals against. They better, because if they trouble, they're going to look at coming out of these first 2 matches with 0 or 1 points, and that likely means coming out of the third match at Azteca with 0 or 1 points. That's going to be a tough hole for the US to climb out of. Luckily, they're going to have a packed house in Denver supporting them. Tickets for the match sold out in under an hour. That crowd is going to be crazy. It will give them an advantage. Is that enough for the US to overcome the Ticos? We'll find out. Make sure you tune in on Friday night on ESPN to watch the match, or head over to SB Nation Soccer and Stars and Stripes FC for all of your coverage of that and everything in the world of soccer.